Good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're live here in Palm Springs Stadium for our second game of the day as the Bombers are set to take on the Colonials. Colonials come into today 2 wins, 6 losses, 2 ties. Bombers 3 and 6. Bombers have won a couple games in a row as we're just about 1 week or so away from the playoffs beginning. Trying to jostle for position as they're right next to each other in 11th and 12th, 9th and 10th places respectively in the standings. Just had a 14-8 ball game just a moment ago. The Bootleggers defeated the Coyotes in our first game here at Palm Springs Stadium. You know, this could be a pretty good one, Nash.
Yeah, and this is an important time of the year, Evan, not just for teams to start winning games going into the playoffs, but individually put yourself in a position where your manager will start you in a playoff game and feel comfortable putting you out there when the games matter and really matter in bracket play next week.
Absolutely, and the PSCL All-Star team in the process of being decided. So possibly a few coming down to the last few opportunities to really show our analytics crew what you got.
It's been a tough year offensively for the Bombers, to put it lightly, and
well, frankly, for both teams.
Yeah. So maybe a pitcher's duel here.
Yeah, bottom 2 offense in terms of batting average, bottom 2 in slugging percentage, total extra base hits. Both teams have been middle of the road as far as pitching is concerned. Joel French on the mound, starting with a 2-0 count for the Colonials.
Big lefty over the top delivery. Oh, what a catch.
Sliding catch right there. Sean Garcia for the Colonials, able to get us started nicely. That's Nolan Maldonado for the Bombers, who just popped out to third base. It'll be Toby Yoshida, Troy Holland, the next 2 batters to follow.
Joel French over the top, big, tall lefty, hard thrower. 12 strikeouts in 8 innings. Opponent batting average 219, but 11 walks. So that's been the difference.
Yoshida shows bunt, bunts it foul, strike 1. Yoshida 1 for 10 so far this season. He scored 5 runs. Not a basic good amount. Walked 3 times, been hit by a pitch. So he's batting second and playing second base for the Bombers. For the Colonials, it's Levi Hall, Deshaun Thomas, Stefan Leo, left center and right field. Sean Garcia, Tyler Darnell, Carter Fagan, and Sean Boscovich going from left to right through the infield. Manuel Lopez behind the plate, and of course Joel French on the mound. As it's a 1-1 count to Toby Yoshida. In the right-handed batter's box, he takes strike 2. Nash got to be itching for a 5'6" hitter taking on a 6'10" pitcher.
He's imposing. 6'10", coming right at you downhill.
From the left side. 1-2 way outside, 2-2.
I don't want to say it, but almost a Chris Sale-ish stature. And Sale more of that 3/4 arm slot. French is over the top, but big, tall, long lefty comes right at you.
Walks at times are a factor for French. He gets a swing and a miss right there. 2 outs, first strikeout of the game. That'll help. He's walked 11 guys in 8 total innings so far this season. Something to keep an eye on, but he's gotten 2 quick outs so far. Pop out to third from Maldonado and the web gem from Sean Garcia and the strikeout to Yoshida. So that'll bring up Troy Holland. He's playing first base. Big swing and a miss, strike 1. Once again, French able to work ahead in the count. Holland hitting .312 this season, 5 for 16 overall, 1 double to his credit, 4 RBIs. Also drawn 5 walks for an OPS near 900, but he's behind the count 0-2.
Power, a lot of swing and miss. And this Bombers team, a 560 team OPS, 224 slugging percentage, Evan. They have 4 extra base hits total.
That's not many. Ball 1 outside. Good velocity so far from French.
I think if French can throw strikes, he's going to be extremely tough to hit. The ball is buzzing out of his hand, especially for a left-handed hitter like Holland. This is an extremely difficult matchup.
1-2. In the dirt, 2-2.
He's been fastball heavy here in the first inning. I don't know if we've seen an off-speed pitch. If we have, it's hard as well.
To say the least. So the corner infield is playing relatively close to each of their lines. Stefan Leo way over towards the right field line in right field. So that's in the air to center field. Over is Thomas. He makes the call and the catch, and that retires the side in order. Quick 1-2-3 inning for Joel French, and the Colonials will take their first hacks to the plate. We're ready for the bottom of the first inning, ladies and gentlemen. Joel French of the Colonials able to work a 1-2-3 top half of the frame. It'll be Deshaun Thomas, Sean Boscovich, Jed Down, the first three men coming to play for the Colonials. And actually, they'll be facing off against Avery Hubbard.
Avery Hubbard, 5 2/3 this year, 6 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned, 7 walks, 9 strikeouts for a 7.94 ERA. Is coming off of a very strong outing against the Bootleggers, pitched an inning, faced 4 batters and struck out 3.
Taking ball 1 is the leadoff man, Deshaun Thomas, playing center field this late morning, early afternoon. Still technically morning out here on the West Coast. Out of Arizona Christian University, swinging a miss there. Hitting .273 this season. 6 for 22 overall. Triple to his credit. 1 RBI. That ball's hit hard in the left field. Going back is Maldonado. It's going to be over his head, and it'll go to the warning track. Deshaun Thomas will pull into second base, absolutely crushing a leadoff double to get us started.
Wow.
First double of the season for Thomas, second extra base hit overall. How about that to get us started here, Nash?
Hard hit double. Thing was crushed. 88 miles an hour off the bat of him.
Yeah, it looked like it too. That'll bring up Sean Boscovich, the first baseman. Big 6'4" righty out of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University.
The man they call Bosco, 2 for 20 on the season.
Boscovich does not show bunt, he takes a ball. I think now would be a good situation for a bunt, Nash. Runs could be at a premium today.
Could be. I'd like to trust the middle of your order. You got Jed Downham on deck, who's been very good this year.
Big hole on the right side as Boscovich takes strike 1. It's Nolan Maldonado, Cooper Winton, Matt Panzica, left, center, and right. Julian Gonzalez, Toby Yoshida, Aiden Weinstein, Troy Holland, the infielders. Zach Robin behind the plate, and of course, Hubbard on the mound. So that gets away from the catcher, Robin, with a breaking ball. And going to third is Thomas on the wild pitch.
No need for a bunt.
Yeah.
Unless you want to squeeze.
That's one way to bunt.
Yep.
Now, if we see a squeeze out here, that'd be something. Hardly seen any bunts. Just a handful that I've seen. So it's a 2-1 count to Boscovich.
Well, Bosco struck out in 10 of 24 plate appearances.
And a ground ball to a middle infielder will guarantee a run. Middle infield playing back, they'll concede 1. So that's fisted fouled on the right field line. Count remains 2-2. Panzica and Winton relatively shallow in right and center. Nolan Maldonado playing relatively deep in left.
Colonials as a team this year hitting just 219. 607 OPS. It's been an offensive struggle for both of these clubs throughout the season.
2-2. Breaking ball out to second base on a couple hops. Yoshiba up with it over the first. Thomas crosses the plate, so an RBI ground out for Boscovich. He does a job, Nash.
Just as you said, 1-0.
So 1 out here in the bottom of the first. That'll bring up Jed Downham.
Oh, this guy is their spark plug. He's hitting 286, but a 940 OPS for Downham. A double. He's hit a homer, driven in 3. He's walked 7 times. He's getting on base in 46% of his plate appearances, and he's an energy bug for them.
So that's officially, he has 40% of the total extra base hits this season for the team.
Wow. And he's been their guy. He'll get a hit and look into his dugout, pound his chest, and let's go. Trying to get the Colonials going.
Behind the count, 0-1 is Downham. So he takes strike 2. Avery Hubbard works ahead, 0-2.
Downham has caught quite a bit. He's the DH today. He's been awesome behind the plate. All around fantastic season so far for Downham.
0-2 is taking a little low, ball 1. Playing right now in the turf field, the Green Dragons are taking on the first place Lumberjacks. Lumberjacks come into today, game and a half ahead of the A's and the Blue Sox. A's were in first place much this season, but back-to-back losses now leaves them in a tie for second place, with the playoffs just about a week away. 2-2 to Downham. Tries another breaking ball, leaves it high.
Downham not really apt to chase either. 7 walks this year already.
No wonder his OPS is close to 1,000. Here's a 3-2. The ball's out to shortstop, over the head of Weinstein, a base hit. Downham just flicks the bat at it, and he's on with 1 out.
Somewhat a stunning result last night, Evan. The Lumberjacks beat the Chill 15-0.
That really does surprise me.
Shocking result.
But the Lumberjacks are loaded with offense, but would not expect the Chill to put up a 0. So I'll bring up Levi Hall, the left fielder.
You look at OPS leaders in the league, it's players, it goes Lumberjacks, Chill, Lumberjacks, Grizzly, Chill, Lumberjacks. So many of the best hitters in this league on those 2 clubs.
Hall swings and he pops that up, shallow left field. Back is Weinstein coming in. Is Maldonado. It'll be Weinstein who makes the catch. That forces Downham to retreat back to first. And there's 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. I'll bring up Sean Garcia, the third baseman. Garcia hitting .357 this season. 5 for 14 overall. All singles, a couple RBIs, 3 walks to his credit with an OPS a little over 800. He takes strike 1.
Garcia leads the team in batting average, accompanied by a .471 on base percentage.
Colonials not a team that runs all that much. Only 15 stolen bases. They're tied for 9th in the league. Three-way tie with the Bootleggers and the Haymakers. So that gets away. Second wild pitch of the inning going to second is Downham. So another chance for the man in scoring position for the Colonials. They've scored 1 this inning already. Deshaun Thomas hit a double all the way to the track and left. Went to third on the wild pitch, scored on a ground ball from Boscovich.
It's unfortunate, Evan, but every run feels like 2 for the Bombers this year. They've just had so much trouble scoring. Just got to try to keep that runner.
The 1-1 from Hubbard. That ball's going to be in the left field for a base hit. Rounding third is Downham. The throw home. It's going to be high and not in time. Downham crosses the plate. Garcia just fisted that ball in the left field. Just past the outstretched glove of Weinstein to play a second run.
Yeah, I think you got to cut that ball off and keep Garcia at first base. Really, very little chance of throwing out the runner, and the throw allowed Garcia to move up in the scoring position now for Leo.
And that's the wild pitch is already paying dividends. Both wild pitches leading to runs to follow. So I'll bring up Stephen Leo. Leo he's 1 for 14 this season. Doubles it out to shortstop. Weinstein up with it. Double crop over the first, and that will retire the side. Now before the Colonials put 2 runs up on the board with 3 hits, take advantage of a couple wild pitches, and they stake Joel French to a 2-run lead when we return. To the top of the second we go. French back on the mound with a 2-run lead after the Colonials' half of the first. It'll be Johnny Young, Matt Panzica, and Julian Gonzalez. 4, 5, 6 coming up for the Bombers. They try and make up this deficit against French, who worked a 1-2-3 top half of the first.
And you mentioned 20%, I believe, of the extra base hits for Downham. 20% of the hits on this Bomber team from Johnny Young. 8 of 40.
So 1-0 the count. Here's the pitch from French. That's upstairs 2-0. Johnny Young has not drawn a walk this season. That's upstairs. So 3-0 the count. You think we'll see Johnny Young take all the way?
Likely. You said he hasn't walked. So
He is not.
he's up there to hit. 8 singles and 13 at-bats.
Yeah, he's definitely a hitter. He takes strike 1. We'll have to wait for that first walk. See if that'll happen. Colonials middle of the pack in walk strong as a team with 41. Hey, there's his first walk of the season. Johnny Young on first base. That'll help that OPS. It's well over 1,000.
He is 1 for 2 in stolen base attempts. See if he takes off. 2-0. The Bombers trail. And on the season, they are 9 for 16 in stolen base attempts. So they've stolen 9 bags. They've been caught 7 times.
Not the most efficient right there. So I'll bring the right fielder, Matt Panzica, up to the plate. Got the man on first, no bad. Looks to be taking all the way. He takes a strike 0-1. French able to work back ahead in the count after walking Johnny Young on 5 pitches. Panzica 1 for 8 so far. He's been walked once and hit by a pitch. This will be the 5th game that Panzica has played in. 1-1 the count. Colonials look to turn 2. Up and in 2-1. French's control was excellent in the first inning. I mentioned earlier 11 walks in 8 innings coming into today's game. Something we're keeping an eye on. Short lead at first from Young. That's one on the miss, 2-2.
Walks will haunt Evan, especially leadoff walks.
We saw that in our last game, Nash. Whether it was the Coyotes or the Bootleggers, it killed both teams when it happened.
Both these teams have been pretty good in the field. Bombers 11 errors.
Swinging the miss from Panzica, he goes down swinging. Second strikeout of the game for French. So 1 out here in the second. That'll bring up the third baseman, Julian Gonzalez.
I just think this is such a tough matchup for a left-handed hitter. I was a left-handed hitter, I would not like facing French at all.
Here's a righty. I never liked facing tall pitchers. It didn't even matter if they threw harder or not. It just feel like they're right on top of you.
They get on you, and he's got long arms, so I'm sure there's some extension to the plate.
Julian Gonzalez, 2 for 10. That ball's way upstairs. He'll go straight to the backstop. Going to second is Young. That'll be his first wild pitch of the game for French. And 2-0 count to Gonzalez. So what are you looking for here if you're Julian Gonzalez? Expect a green light from Gonzalez. Here's the 2-0. On the outside corner, 2-1. Waiting on deck is Zach Rodman, the catcher.
This just feels like a run you need to cash in on if you're the Bombers.
Short lead at second. That pitch off of Lopez. That allows Young to go over to third. You assume that'll be ruled a pass ball.
Mm-hmm.
So Johnny Young walks to start the inning, advances on a wild pitch to second, just goes to third on a pass ball. Now, all of a sudden, a chance for the Bombers to cut the lead in half without needing a hit.
Colonials will concede the run. Infield is back. Ground ball to the right side.
Here's the 3-1. On the outside corner, strike 2.
Cannot strike out here.
Gonzalez has struck out 4 times this season in 14 plate appearances. That ball is to the backstop again, way over of everybody. Young will cross the plate. Julian Gonzalez draws ball 4, so another base run with 1 out. And the Bombers are on the board without needing a hit. It's 2-1 Colonials. Well, how about this, Nash? Leadoff walk, wild pitch, pass ball, and another wild pitch on a ball that was way over the head of everybody.
The Bombers have scored 30 runs now on the season. Johnny Young has scored 7 of those, and he's driven in 3. So nearly a third of the runs scored from the Bombers have Johnny Young involved.
That's off the glove of Lopez. It was upstairs, just popped right out of his mitt. So, wow. Gonzalez goes to second.
We're going to have a mound visit.
So let's see. 2 wild pitches and 2 pass balls each for French and Lopez. Strange inning. Still no hits on the board for the Bombers. As Zach Rodman takes for a 1-0 count. He's 1 for 10. Couple walks. He's been hit by a pitch once. I mean, I assume when the Colonials break their huddle, you gotta take a pitch if you're Rodman.
Mm-hmm.
Strange inning. So now as the huddle breaks, we're set once again. 1-0 count to Zach Rodman. A run is scored in this inning thanks to a leadoff walk. And geez, way over the head of Lopez. Going to third is Julian Gonzalez. Nash, I would think if you're the Colonials, you gotta get somebody up in the bullpen.
And credit the Bombers taking advantage. Moving around the bases. Quick on their feet.
Like, if you're Zach Rodman, are you taking a strike?
Absolutely. Nowhere near the zone these last two pitches.
That's a good fastball on the outside corner.
When he's in the zone, and
Yeah, he's
it's
tough.
evidenced
He's tough
by
in the strike zone.
opponent batting average this year, it's tough to hit him. It's just a matter of getting ahead and staying in the zone for French.
Swing and a miss there. That'll be strike 2 to Rodman, so a 2-2 count. Back-to-back strikes from French. Tying run over at third for the Bombers. Chance to tie the game without needing a hit. The Colonials will play back once again, conceding around the grounder. That swung on a miss from Rodman.
Big strikeout.
Third strikeout of the game for French. As you said, Nash, a big one. So I'll bring up Aiden Weinstein. In the 8th spot on the lineup, playing shortstop for the Bombers. Weinstein in 231. Couple RBIs to his credit. So he takes strike 1. 2-out hit would be big for the Bombers to try and tie this up.
Coming into the game, French had faced 43 hitters. Walked 11, struck out 12. So 23 of the 43, either a walk or a strikeout. I believe
That goes off the end of the bat, and it'll get down in the right field for a base hit, just past Carter Fagan. Gonzalez scores, first hit of the day for the Bombers, and we are tied just like that. So let's see. Walk, wild pitch, pass ball, strikeout, pass ball, walk, wild pitch, pass ball again, strikeout, RBI hit. Does that about cover it, Nash?
Some good fortune for the Bombers there. Right off the end of the bat, found the hole in right field, and we're tied up.
And Mitchell Clay for the Colonials is up and throwing in the bullpen. That pitch way upstairs again, off the glove of Lopez. Another one that popped in and out. We'll see how that's going to be scored, but going to second is Weinstein.
I think he was lucky to get a glove on it, but we're going to call it a pass ball officially.
Yeah, that pitch was way upstairs, but he had in his glove that popped out. So 1-0 the count to Aiden King. That ball's hit hard, right center field. It's going to get down for a hit. Aiden Weinstein will score, and the Bombers have taken a 3-2 lead here in the top of the second inning. 3 runs on the board.
And the bottom of the order getting involved. Good for the Bombers.
Second hit of the game and the inning for the Bombers as they take the lead right back after the Colonials put up 2 runs in the home half of the first. So I'll bring up the 10th man, Cooper Winton. He's playing center field for the Bombers.
Well, things have been looking up the last 2 games for them. They've scored 13 runs combined. They've won both of those games. 8-4 over the Bootleggers, 5-4 over the Snowbirds.
Winton takes a ball outside 1-1. He's 2 for 15 this season. He bats with Aiden King over on first, who just singled in the third and go-ahead run of the inning. French delivers a little high, ball 2. He wanted that pitch. Frankly, though, if you're all over the place, it's He may not always get the borderline pitches. Shortly at first from King. That 2-1 is in the air to left field. Coming in is Hall and over towards the line. He dives! And they're going to rule the no catch. It's a fair ball. Great diving effort from Levi Hall. Couldn't tell from here if he got it or not. So Winton is at first with a hit. King stopped at second. They'll go down as a hit, of course. A little surprising, Aiden King not on third base.
Yeah, with 2 outs, got to be running there. Back-to-back-to-back singles for the Bombers. 8, 9, 10 in the order. Now it flips around.
Taking up and in is Nolan Maldonado. He popped out to third his first time up on the diving catch by Sean Garcia.
Maldonado was a player of the week in the PSCL. He's in the spotlight.
That's in there for a strike, 1-1.
Left-handed pitcher on the mound. Left-handed hitter at the plate.
Even on some of these strikes, Nash, Lopez is moving a lot behind the plate.
The ball's kind of all around the zone right now.
That's a little outside, 2-1. Bombers have already scored 3 runs this inning. With 3 hits on the board, aided by a couple walks and several wild pitches and pass balls. Looking for more. Inside 3-1. So Nash, what are you looking for here if you're Maldonado?
I think I'm taking, but I'm looking fastball in the zone.
I guess it doesn't matter much if you're taking what you're looking for.
Well, I should say I'm picking a spot. I'm thinking of this as 3-0, honestly, because he has been all around the zone.
The 3-1 looks like you might have been taking all the way 3-2. The runners will be off.
Yeah, that's what I would have done right there. Just pick a spot.
King on second, Winton on first. A hit should surely score a run with 2 outs. Here they go, the pitch. And check swing, ball 4 from Maldonado. French tried a breaking ball, did not get the swing.
It was a great at-bat.
So that'll load the bases with 2 outs. Lopez will go back out and talk to French. Nash, danger zone here, possibly for the Colonials.
Outstanding take right there. Maldonado did not expand even with 2 strikes. Calmly took that for ball 4. And now serious trouble with the bases loaded and Yoshida at the plate.
Mitchell Clay for the Colonials was up and throwing in the bullpen a moment ago. He's now done throwing, so you wonder what kind of leash French will have. What kind of pitching options are available. Yoshida takes the ball upstairs 1-0. Toby Yoshida struck out his first time up, that with the bases loaded. Nowhere to put him. French has walked 2 men in the inning so far. Excuse me, 3 men in the inning. That's 2-0 to count. Seeing some frustration in the body language from French.
I think he wanted that pitch.
There's a few that have been close that he's wanted. But Grant, if you're missing your spot, even if you're in the strike zone, you won't get the benefit of the doubt. Still just 1 pitch from getting out of it. Here's the 2-0. Way upstairs, 3-0. Now it's nice, you gotta be taking all the way here.
No question. No question about it. If he wants to give you runs, you let him give you runs.
The 3-0. And that's taking a little high, ball 4. A 4-pitch walk to Toby Yoshida. Crossing the plate is Aiden King across the plate to score.
4th walk of the inning. I think it's probably time to go get him, but
it's like the manager is trying to talk to him from the dugout.
he said you got it, I believe.
Colonials want him to get through this 2nd inning. So the Bombers have batted around. It brings up Troy Holland, the 10th man to bat this inning. Both teams batting 10. Takes a strike on the inside corner. Holland didn't like that call. Everybody's upset now with the home plate umpire.
Generous strike call.
Holland's a big man. Bigger strike zone. 0-1's way outside, 1-1. Troy Holland flew out to center his first time up.
He is a strikeout candidate, but he can get into it. He's got serious pop.
Bombers already drawn 4 walks this game here in the second. Holland takes a little high, 2-1.
That's a good take.
Bombers came into this game second to last in total walks drawn as a team with 30. Green Dragons were 1 behind them with 29. Next closest team is the Coyotes and North Stars. They're both at 40. That's downstairs 3-1. At 3-1, Ken, you taking all the way here if you're Holland?
Usually I would say no, and I'm sitting on something, and maybe for Holland with the bases loaded, he's done damage all year. It's the same situation as it was for Maldonado. You're picking one spot, wherever you like it, sitting fastball. If it's not there, you take.
3-1 from French. That hits him. So I'll force in another run. It's 5-2 Bombers, 5th run of the inning, and looks like that's going to be it for Joel French.
Yeah, unraveled on him. Hit a 1-2-3 first, and then 5 walks, starting with the leadoff walk, and walks will haunt.
Well, let's see. They're talking on the mound. They haven't taken him out yet. Still nobody up in the bullpen. It was Mitchell Clay throwing for the Colonials earlier. He stopped for a little while. Looks like the Bombers are going to send out Gavin Fraser to go run for Troy Holland. So he'll be over at first. So it's Maldonado over at third, Yoshida at second, and the pinch runner Gavin Fraser at first.
Looks like Mitchell Clay is going to come in now and in relief.
So we'll talk about the new pitcher when we return. All right, we're back. Still bases loaded, 2 outs. 11th man to bat in the inning. It's Johnny Young. He takes a ball outside. Young walked to start this inning, and he eventually scored thanks to 2 wild pitches and a pass ball later. Swing and a miss, 1-1.
Johnny's largely been the Bombers' best player this year, and with the bases loaded now, he can try to bust this game open, get a big lead.
So Mitchell Clay threw it. The new pitcher, he threw an inning just a couple of days ago. 5.62 ERA for the season, 8 total innings. He's walked 10 guys so far this season. The 2-1 count, that's down and away, 3-1.
Young's been so good. We mentioned Drew his first walk of the season. I bet you he's rearing up for a swing here.
He does swing away, fouls it back 3-2, so the runners will be off with the bases loaded.
Just missed that pitch. 3-2 is still an offensive count. So the pitcher, you figure, has to come in the zone. You don't want to walk in another run.
Here's the pitch. The runners go, and that swung on and missed. Young went after a high fastball, and that finally retires the side. The Bombers put up 5 runs take advantage of 4 walks, a hit batter, wild pitches, and pass balls, and 3 singles. So we'll go to the bottom of the second inning. Bombers are now in control. To the bottom of the second we go. Avery Hubbard going back to work, looking to record a shutdown inning. It'll be Tyler Darnell, Cooper Browning, Carter Fagan, 7, 8, 9 for the Colonials. So they try and answer back after surrendering 5 runs after putting up 2 in the first.
Tyler's been an on-base machine.
Pops that one shallow right field, and diving and can't get it is Panzica. Going to second now is Darnell, the throw, and he's going to be out by a mile. Darnell thought he was safe. Great diving effort from Panzica. The ball got away. Tyler Darnell is being aggressive, trying to stretch the single into a double. The ultimate ends up being thrown out to lead off this inning.
It is another hit for Darnell, who is 8 for 21 now. 7 for 21 now in the season.
So just like that, it ends up being 1 pitch, 1 out. They'll bring up Cooper Browning, the extra hitter.
Browning, 3 for 18, 3 singles.
Ball 1 inside. Now, Nash, obviously we saw all the walks and the hit batters last inning. The Colonials came in today second in walks issued with 56. The Bootleggers lead the league in that category with 64. Bombers come into today only 31. They're tied with the Snowbirds for the fewest walks issued as a pitching staff all season.
Certainly helps.
You know, Nash, we were talking last game about all the hit batters this season. 157 so far coming into today. Bootleggers lead the league in total batters hit with 20. As Browning is down swinging, and Rodman deposits the ball over the first to finish off the strikeout. First strikeout of the game for Hubbard. So there's 2 outs. Let's see. Colonials have only hit 7 batters so far this season, tied second fewest. And where are the Bombers at? There they are. Bombers middle of the pack. They've hit 12 batters this season. Brings up Carter Fagan, the second baseman, and the 9th man in the order. Takes a good breaking ball in there for strike 1. Fagan hitting .211. 1 double, a couple RBIs to his credit. So that with 2 outs and nobody on. Another breaking ball, that one in the dirt, 1-1. I mean, what's the mindset, Nash, for the Colonials? You're down 5-2, just finishing off the previous inning.
Trying to string together good at-bats. And Darnell had a hit, but aggression.
High fastball, 1-2.
Got him thrown out at second base. I think you're just trying to clog the base paths a little bit, like the Bombers did, essentially.
1-2 the count. Hubbard deals, just misses 2-2. Wow.
Good pitch.
Some of the Bombers' infield starting to jog off.
Really nice try.
Aiden Weinstein was already on, from the shortstop position, was already on the infield grass. Now here's a 2-2. We'll do it again. Chopped right back to Hubbard. He'll flip over the first, and that will retire the side in order. So shut down the inning for Hubbard, and the Bombers, they record a 1-2-3 inning. They'll come back up to bat, leading 5-2. To the top of the third inning we go. Hubbard for the Bombers, able to work a shutdown inning, setting down the Colonials 1-2-3. As the offense will get back to work against Mitchell Clay, trying to add on to that 3-run lead. Bombers sent 11 men to the plate in the previous frame. It'll be Panzica, Julian Gonzalez, and Robman, first three due up. They take on Clay. That ball smoked out to center field. Going back to Sean Thomas, and he makes the catch over his shoulder. Nice running grab on a well-hit ball from Panzica, and there's one away.
Took the hat off. Threw his hat off. Went and made the catch. Love to see that.
So a loud first out for the Bombers. That brings up Julian Gonzalez. He walked and scored in that 5-run second inning. Now that with one out and nobody on base. His first pitch swinging once again, and out to Thomas. This will be a little easier play. In the right center alleyway, he puts it away. 2 quick outs.
That's exactly what you need if you're Mitchell Clay. Get your team back into the dugout.
Deshaun Thomas been a busy man so far this inning. 3 pitches, 2 outs. Bring up Zach Robin. He struck out in the second. So he's 0 for 1. Outside ball 1. They're going to need some innings out of Mitchell Clay today, Nash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's... We're hoping to play 7.
2-0 the count.
The time limit.
Hey, Nash, with the fact that French had such a long leash, that tells me that Colonials might be stretched a little thin with their pitching staff.
Yeah, they have one guy on their bench, it looks like. Maybe a few in the dugout, but second outside right there.
Down low, 3-0. So are you taking all the way if you're Rodman?
I'm probably sitting on a fastball in a certain spot.
So you're green lighting him?
Yeah.
Plenty of
Nobody
green
on.
lights to go around. The 3-0, that's up and in, ball 4. So Robin draws a 4-pitch walk. First walk issued from Clay.
But 6 walks on the day for Colonials pitching. That's really been the difference so far in that second inning. 5 walks in that inning.
That's a lot, and a hit batter. So I'll bring up Aiden Weinstein. He singled home a run his first time up. Also scored. Takes upstairs ball 1. Short lead from first for Rodman. The first base player coach whispered something into his ear. Hopefully the first baseman didn't hear it. So 1 ball, no strikes. Down low, 2-0. So that's 6 straight pitches out of the strike zone. You taking here, Nash?
I still think I'm unloading. I just come back to it being summer league. You know, I'm not up there to walk. I'm still up there to hit. So in a majority of cases, I'm probably swinging away. That was a good pitch. I would not swing at that. Pitcher's pitch.
Weinstein takes a strike. It's 2-1. Sean Thomas playing relatively shallow in center. The rest of the outfielders medium depth. 2-2 to count. Takes another good strike on the inside half.
Another good pitch. I would do that again, or you might be able to get him out reaching on a breaking ball down and away. Got a pitch to play with here.
Once again, short lead from Rodman. 2-2. That's in the air. Once again, Thomas. This time in a few steps, and he puts it away. Deshaun Thomas makes all 3 outs in the inning. No runs, no hits, and the man left over at first. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. Mitchell Clay able to work a scoreless inning for the Colonials. To the bottom of the 3rd we go. Avery Hubbard back out for his 3rd inning of work. It'll be 10-1-2. Manuel Lopez and then Deshaun Thomas and Sean Boscovich. And changeover at first base. Trevor Gruska in the game playing first and Troy Hall instead. So Hubbard delivers a fastball down and in, ball 1. So after the 5-run inning, Mitchell Clay was able to work a scoreless 3rd half of the frame. A ball's popped up right side towards the dugout, and it'll be out of play into the marketing pit. A lot of room in foul territory, but not gets a little tighter with the marketing pit involved. We saw a foul pop up in the previous game where the catcher thought he ran out of room by the screen, but then the ball actually dropped kind of behind the screen next to the dugout. A few interesting angles. 1-1's hit hard. On one hop, out to Aiden Weinstein. Over the first. In time, 1 away. Nice play. So one quick out, Avery Hubbard settled in nicely after allowing 2 runs in the first. That'll bring up the top of the order. Deshaun Thomas will bat for the second time today. He hit that screaming double to the track out in left field. He came around to score, part of that 2-run first inning for the Colonials.
Hubbard has retired 4 of the last 5 he's faced. The one other being Darnell, who was thrown out at second after singling.
So first pitch, breaking ball, inside ball 1. Colonials could use some spark from the top of the order. They've been quiet since that 2-run frame. Shatters the bat. Cut off by Gonzalez over the first. He gets him by a step.
Credit the Bombers' defense. They've done a nice job today.
Always a good thing when the third baseman's able to cut off a slower hit ball. That bat just splintered. So there's 2 quick outs. So that's 5 of the previous 6 batters that Hubbard's retired. That'll bring up Boscovich. Grounded out to second, actually grounded in also for an RBI. The first run of the game for the Colonials. So he's 0 for 1. He'll bat with 2 outs and nobody on base. Takes a fastball right down to shoot for strike 1.
Game's starting to hum along now, Evan. Knock on wood.
Yeah, it has been, Nash. We don't have wood in here to knock on, unfortunately. In the dirt, ball 1. Will the thing below us here be wood, Nash?
I think it is.
I think it is wood.
Yep. So we'll knock on that.
No, I mean this thing, the thing I'm kicking.
Oh, yes.
I don't want to kick it too hard.
Yes, might push through.
1-1 to count. The ball's ripped in the right field, coming on his Panzica. That's going to drop in front of him for a hit. He cuts it off nicely, stopping at first is Sean Boscovich. His first hit of the game, he's 1 for 2. And the 5th hit of the day for the Colonials as a team. Colonials actually out-hitting the Bombers 5-3.